Here we are in week 8.
I know, and I'm sorry, I'm cooking because I got just a few minutes behind and realized I better eat something. So I just have to flip my eggs and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Stan, why don't we go ahead and start with you?
Okay. It's been kind of a rough week. There's a lot of stuff that kind of hasn't been going right. And I've really been craving comfort food. Haven't eaten any of it, but I've been craving it a lot. Water and breathing are okay. We've been off caffeine and alcohol for 3 weeks now, I think. I'm kind of wondering when improved sleep is going to kick in, because that waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning does not help my attitude.
Waking up and staying up?
Yeah.
Have you tried melatonin yet?
Yep. Has no effect on me whatsoever. Not even if you combine it with CBD.
And is the CBD not putting you down now, or keeping you down sleep-wise?
It doesn't seem to be as effective as it was initially.
I wonder about doubling up the dose or increasing the dose.
I tried that.
Okay. Bummer. Let's talk about the comfort food a little bit, about the cravings.
Okay. It's emotional hunger, pure and simple.
Yeah, and so
that's why I didn't give in to it.
Good. And what I'm curious about is, do you think that you're resisting by willpower or recognizing it for what it is and not going down that path?
I think it's a mix. I don't quite understand the difference between what we're doing and willpower anyway. It seems to me that either way we have to make a decision to eat a particular thing or not eat a particular thing, and I don't understand how this is not willpower.
Well, part of the difference is that a typical diet is dependent on willpower because it's dependent on calorie restriction, so that you often wind up being hungry, which is not what we want to be doing here at all. And so when you are nutritionally full, yes, to a certain extent, you are using willpower because you're making a conscious decision. But when you're nutritionally full, that's a much easier decision than if you feel like you're starved and hungry all the time.
Okay, so the difference is between using willpower to stop from eating when we're hungry and using willpower to stop from eating the wrong thing when we're hungry. Yeah. And I can see that's a distinction, but.
Can I chime in for a minute, just for a second, about the willpower?
Sure.
What I found, Stan, this might help you, is Sally has been pushing the conscious decision. And because I'm constantly full, most of the time, 99% of the time, I find I don't even need to use the willpower because I know what I'm trying to achieve. So I focus strictly on my achievement, and that willpower is going towards the achievement of what my goal is, not towards a food choice, right? Because now I've been conditioned to be conscious about the food choices and the devil and the angel and all of that. So I just keep in mind mentally what I'm going to push my willpower towards. And I'm sorry to interrupt, Sally, but I didn't want to forget to share that thought.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And actually, I think that's a pretty good take on what it is, the other aspect of what it is that we're really accomplishing here. It's a very different method of eating. And I'm going to throw a little factoid out that I got from an audiobook this morning that just really kind of floored me when I thought about it related to the food industry, which is, in America, we are producing and trying to feed twice as many calories per day as we possibly need. So basically, we're producing 4,000 calories per person of food per day. And when you think about it in that context, no wonder so many people are overweight and obese. because the food industry is trying to shove all that food down our throats, literally, to get us to do that thing instead of what we know to be the right thing. Completely different subject from emotional eating. Well, actually, it's not, because so much of the advertising that has been done to make us believe that emotional eating is going to satisfy that emotional hunger, not, an actual physical hunger. And I think that that's one of the areas in which the food industry has done us a huge disservice. Um, for me personally, the way that I think of comfort food now is entirely different from the way that I ever used to think of it. In fact, I have a video rendering right now that I'll put up a little bit later with some comfort food I made the other night, which was a combination of green beans and red cabbage with a little Polish sausage and onion. And,
That sounds delicious. Looking forward to that
awesome.
recipe.
Absolutely awesome. So, yeah, I really, really like that kind of stuff for comfort food. And it's just a different way to think about it. And then I ramped it up with leftovers last night with some mashed garlic cauliflower side by side. Really good. So I'm not saying that it's always going to be easy or that it's ever going to be easy, but I think the outcome is totally worthwhile. And I guess the other question that I'd have for you, Stan, and I don't know what the answer to that, I don't know if there is an answer to this. Is there some other way that I or we could be supporting you to make this easier?
I can't really think of anything offhand.
Okay. Well, certainly if you do, let me know, let us know, because I mean, we are all here to support each other and, want you to get the best experience that you can. Back to your question about the caffeine. It is probably mostly out of your system at this point, but it may be another week or so before you really start to see any differences in sleep quality, because I think there's, in addition to the caffeine itself, there's what your body's been trained to do over many years. Takes a little bit longer to retrain your body to do other things. So hopefully you'll see some improvement from that before too long.
Okay, I'll keep my fingers crossed for that.
And how do you feel about baths?
About what?
Baths.
Oh, yeah, I saw Eric suggested that. It seems like an awful lot of work at bedtime.
That was my first reaction too, actually.
I mean, I've been trained since I was a child to get into bed and read for a while and then drop and then, put the book away and go to sleep. I'm not so much having trouble falling asleep, it's staying asleep that's the real issue.
Well, I will tell you that when Eric says, taking a cold bath or a cold shower before you go to bed improves your sleep quality, I know for sure it does. I can see when I do that, the improvement. Now that takes a little bit of willpower, let me tell you.
Yeah, I think I'm going to leave. I'm going to let someone else try that and report to me how it works for them.
Well, I'm telling you how it works for me. I'll give everybody else the opportunity to give it a try. I think Linda, did you try the Wim Hof method for a while? Yeah.
And one thing I've learned is in the shower, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm in the shower and what they say is to have it ice cold and jump in. So I had a really hard time with that. So what I would do is I would go in my hot shower and then about a minute before I got out, I would push it all the way over to cold and I would make myself just stand there, turn around and I'd just be thinking about other things.
And deep breathing.
Yep, and deep breathing. Yep. Oh, you can't help but to deep breathe. But, it is a really great way to wake up your mind, your body, and your soul. But I can also see it ending the day that way because every time when my windows open and it's colder and shit in the house, I sleep the deepest. I sleep the deepest in a cold house.
And most people find that to be true anyway. And I can certainly understand the reluctance to want to be in a nice cold shower, Stan. But this is the kind of thing that our mentor Joe Stump gets us to do. It's like he'll mention something, it's, oh yeah, go try that. So we're all like, yeah, let's give that a try. And there's usually a lot of benefit to be found. And in this case, I mean, I don't always shower before I go to sleep at night, because most of the time I wind up doing it like mid-afternoon after I've done gardening or whatever. But I do most of the time flip back and forth between cold and hot, and I do the alternating version of that as well. And it definitely makes an improvement in circulation and a bunch of things. So might be something you want to try at some point. What about food wise? Any other issues besides the emotional eating for you? You just getting bored, or what's going on?
Well, the emotional eating is because I've got stuff going on in my life that's making me not happy, and I feel a pressure to make myself feel better by having something delicious that is from my old eating habits. And it's just, I mean, at this point anyway, it's not terribly hard to reject that, because I know why we're doing this, as Linda says, and I'm in it for the course, and so I if I say I'll do something, I tend to really do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of made a commitment to this, and that makes it easier to reject the bad stuff. Now, what'll happen in week 14 is a different question, and I'm guessing that one reason we're staying so long in winter, in spring, is to condition ourselves so that we are really used to spring and can get back into it when we want to.
Yeah. So part of the philosophy, especially around emotional eating, is to find something else to duplicate that feeling. And of course, part of that issue is that it's COVID and we can't do a lot of the things that we want to be able to do. But one of the things that may work for you might be like writing a letter or an email to, Mark or one of your friends that is not eating, but satisfying some emotional good feeling. Take a break, watch a little TV, something you like. So any of those things might be beneficial. And it is a tough situation. I would love for you to be able to find something else to do rather than just trying to resist. Linda, you're up.
Oh, hi. Hi. Okay, I don't want spring ever to end. I am down 5 pounds.
Woohoo!
And I'm super thrilled about it because I'm on medication for my illness.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me gain weight. They all said you're going to gain weight, you're going to gain weight. And I did. I gained weight. But now I'm down 5 pounds. So I'm like, okay, this is good. What I've also noticed is I only eat most days, today probably 3 times, but most days I only eat 2 times a week. I mean, 2 times a day. And it's because of that Alka-Geyser. I make so much of it.
Mm-hmm.
I just drink it all. I just drink and drink until I can't drink anymore. And then I find myself, oh, I didn't have lunch today. Or, oh, I don't need dinner today. Or maybe I'll just have a handful of nuts. Right. So I like that. I like always I can go out for the day, salad, and not worry about being gone for hours and worry about getting hungry. So I just don't get hungry, which I love.
Cool.
The emotional eating, there wasn't one time this week where it's like, God, I just kind of wanted something, right? And I said, nope. You're wanting something. Something's going on in your mind. Yes, I was stressed about a situation. I deconstructed it, went out to the garden, and came back fine. Didn't want it anymore. So, devil, emotional devil. Bye-bye. So I'll be working on him. Let's see here. I've been at the store really focusing on what haven't I eaten yet. in my shakes. So
Mhm.
I thought, oh, parsley. Okay, I bought a bunch of parsley. And I'm looking for more unique things. So I haven't had eggplant in years. So what I ended up doing is making my favorite spaghetti sauce, and I went to get the cauliflower. I forgot to buy it. I thought for sure I had it in the refrigerator. I said, shit. So what I did with that is I just browned in some olive oil, my sliced eggplant, the whole eggplant, right? And browned it nicely with olive oil, some garlic and onion powder, whatever I had that was pure I could eat. And let it pour the spaghetti sauce I make with sausage and all that on top of it. Delicious. So eggplant is on the menu, something I typically didn't eat much of.
Cool. Good job.
Yeah, and my sleep, Sally, and my dream state, still freaking amazing. And last night I was so tired at 8:30 because I can't take a nap. I tried to lay down the other day because my eyes were getting really heavy. And I couldn't go to sleep for the life of me. So sometimes I just have to sit and rest my eyes, meditate for 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm fine. So yeah, I went to bed last night at 8:30. I haven't been to bed at 8:30 in many years, but I was tired. I thought, okay, slept till 5:30, no alarm, nothing. I just figured my body needs it.
There you go.
Yep.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm a happy camper. Let's stay in spring.
Well, in that regard, we'll be in spring for a little bit yet. We're in spring this week for sure. And one of the things that you have to learn in your Living Wild Fit phase is how to cycle in and out of spring, because we are intended to cycle fat on and off. And if you stay in spring all the time, you're not cycling it back on.
Right. Well, my question would be, so let's say I want to lose 21 pounds. Do I stay in spring or do I cycle in and out of something else?
You're still going to cycle in and out, but you'll be doing it on. So like if you've got a weight loss goal when we're finished the challenge, if you've got still more weight that you want to release, then what you'll be doing is deciding how many days you want to stay in spring and then how many days you want to stay in summer or fall. So typically, and we'll talk a lot more about this as we get toward the end.
Okay.
But typically for people that have a weight loss goal that's, more than about 5 pounds, you're going to want to be in spring for probably about 10 to 12 days at a time. And then in spring or in summer and fall for 1 or 2 days. And that's it. And then cycle back into spring for another spring cycle.
You'll teach us all this, right?
Yep.
Okay. Good enough. Yeah. So life is good.
Cool. Awesome. Dana. Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm kind of like Stan. I'm missing some comfort food, but I'm not hungry. And I'm down 12 pounds.
Oh my God.
Good job.
That was at the scale at the gym with my clothes on, not without my clothes on.
So I'm curious, if you're accomplishing your goal of releasing weight, how comforting are those comfort foods for you?
Well, they taste good.
Is it really that they taste good, or are you satisfying some emotional hunger?
I don't know. I just miss potatoes and rice because I like them.
Might want to do a little more research around potatoes and rice and see if you still like them on a regular basis. I mean, I'm not saying, don't ever have them, but long-term health-wise, they're not really a super functional food for those of us who can afford to buy food.
Oh my God, Sam.
That's true.
What is wrong with you?
What is wrong with who?
Oh, that's somebody in the room next door.
Wow. That voice carries. Yeah, so just think about that moving forward, in terms of how you're feeling versus how you used to feel. How it feels to be able to release that weight. That's a pretty big weight release in a short period of time.
Feels good.
Yeah.
That feels good.
And that's the focus.
People are noticing.
Have you looked at your skin?
I mean, it's the same. It's not as dry.
Yeah, it's definitely not as dry. You've got like a glow that I can see, even on the video. How are you going with sleeping?
Well, other than I pee all night, I'm fine.
Yeah, there is that.
That's not any different than it was before.
Right. That's just the way life is.
Yes.
We're of an age. Cool. What else for you? Any challenges with food aside from the fact that you're missing potatoes and rice?
No. The Alka-Seltzer does keep you pretty full. I mean, I have to remind myself to eat lunch. Because if I eat it really late, then we know it kind of throws my schedule off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're at the stage now where we don't want you to get hungry, but if you're getting enough Alka-Seltzer in that you don't really want lunch, that's okay.
Okay.
And if you, yeah, but don't get hungry.
Well, if I don't eat lunch, then when I get home, I'm hungry.
Small snack, handful of nuts. I mean, that might be another choice if you don't want to eat lunch.
Yep, that'll work.
Cool. Cool. Anything else for you?
No, I still miss my coffee too.
I'm not surprised. And remember, we're only asking you to take a vacation. It's not forever. You can make your decisions about what you want to go back to after the 90 days. Just keeping in mind
Yep.
how far you've gotten. How's your energy level?
It's a lot better this week than it was before.
Good. Good.
And my poop's kind of weird.
I'm sorry, say again.
My poop's kind of weird. It's got an oily scum to it.
Mm.
No one in almost.
That's not a big surprise with the amount of, wait for it, fat that you're releasing. You're pooping out fat.
I am.
Congratulations.
It's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Anything else for you?
Nope.
All right, Jeanette, thank
It's
you.
massage time.
I'm sorry, say again?
It's massage time. I gotta go.
Okay, good enough.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Jeanette, thank you for patiently waiting.
Of course. So I'm a little less optimistic about spring, as Linda is. A little less optimistic. I actually researched online, how long does freaking spring last in the wild fit? I did not get a clear-cut answer. But so yeah, it's doing okay. But I did wake up last Monday. I texted you. I woke up dreaming that I was making a pastrami, and I could hear someone going, "Don't forget to grill the Jewish rye. You got the Jewish rye, right?" I was raised by a Jewish lady next door, Mrs. Hockheiser, and I could hear her voice. "Now you remember to grill the pastrami till it just gets caramelized. Remember, too much. So that's why I woke up Monday to a dream of a pastrami sandwich, and I don't even know the last time I had a pastrami sandwich. But you know, I'm sticking to it. The Alka-Seltzer this morning, I actually added almond milk to it and 2 drops of vanilla, and it tastes great because the celery almost tastes like nuts.
Oh yeah,
So I enjoyed that.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, just a few, you know, I know he mentioned cinnamon, but I did that yesterday before I watched the video today, and I'm having the second part of it today, and I'm enjoying it. Just, I think, a different flavor maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't measured myself, but I do feel like I'm losing weight in my my arms, my face, my abdomen, my legs.
I can definitely see it in your face.
Can you?
Yep.
Okay. And I will confess, Stan, sorry, it might embarrass you. I do rub my belly in the morning going, "I released you into the wild." And that's how I actually start my day. That's not a lie, unfortunately. So,
Well, no, actually,
and
I think that's a great positive affirmation, actually.
yeah, yeah. Get out of the
I like
shower.
it.
I release you into the wild. But my energy levels are better. I'm sleeping better. I'm less foggy brain for sure. Although I am getting headaches at night. And I don't know if that's because of all the pollen that's in the air. Oops, hold on.
Or the smoke.
The smoke. I don't know. So I'm going to start taking Benadryl at night and see if that takes care of it. Um, what else? But I'm curious if I'm in ketosis. Ketosis, is that how you say it?
Uh-huh.
Ketosis, or
Ketosis.
if I'm just eating cleaner. So have you ever used the urine sticks to see if you're in ketosis?
No, I didn't bother because I figured if I was releasing weight, or my clothes were fitting differently, which was certainly happening all the way down the line, I didn't really care.
Okay. Well, and I also I don't know if Sandra's on today or not. I can't see her.
No.
But I can understand her pain because I had very good willpower earlier, I'm sticking to it, very super stoked. But God bless this little lady. One of my clients made homemade turtles, homemade caramel, roasted pecans. Stan's laughing at me, I'm sure, I think. Yep. Homemade turtles and homemade
Laughing
German.
with you, not at you.
Oh man, the struggle is real. And homemade macaroons with chocolate inside. And I lied to her. I told her, oh my gosh, this looks so great. But you know what? I just had lunch. I'm full. I can't have it right now, but I'll have it later and I'll let you know how awesome it is. And do you mind if I share it with people at work? So obviously the people at work are heathens. I put them on the counter. They're gone in 2 minutes. So I didn't even have the temptation. Yeah, they're just,
But
yeah.
now you can feel so much better about the fact that you didn't eat that stuff, even though it was, probably reasonably high quality homemade stuff. It's still not functional food.
No, but I'm not too embarrassed to admit I did look in the trash to make sure that the plate got thrown away and that they weren't hidden somewhere in the office.
Have you told anybody what you're doing?
No. So, I've always been a healthy eater. So, I've always made my lunches and everything. So the green shakes and everything, no one's has a concern about it. The mountain group has figured out what I'm doing and they've asked me what I'm doing. And I said, I'm just eating better to, help my little pancreas out. That's what I've just told them. Sorry, realtors are nosy little people. They only need to know.
So the whole mountain group has asked you, or just one of them?
No, both of them. Like, you look like you've lost weight, and I've seen you eating green shakes. Are you doing okay? Is everything all right? I think they're more worried that my cancer's back, and making sure that I haven't made an adjustment in my diet because of that. So that's more my belief. I am more relaxed, although ironically grumpier, which just cracks me up. I have a very tolerance for idiots. But that just might be my personality. Yeah, that's it. But I do feel more relaxed. And as a side note, I wrote down here, when I was going through chemo treatment, they did encourage hot to cold showers to help clean out the lymph nodes.
Right. Which I forgot about the lymph node aspect of that. Thanks for bringing that up, because I think that's what the whole theory behind what we got from Wim Hof is, with regard to why you sleep deeper if you've just taken a cold shower or a cold bath.
Mm-hmm.
Your system.
What they actually do in treatment is to take a hot shower, then a cold shower, dry yourself off, take a dry horsehair brush, and rub yourself lightly on your back and arms and where your lymph nodes are. It stimulates the lymph nodes to drain.
Yeah, I just bought a brush for that a week or so ago. And it's Prime, so it might be here next week.
Yeah, but that's supposed to help the lymph nodes as well.
Cool. Well,
I think that's
sounds like you're really doing well on track. And are you staying off the scale deliberately, or just haven't thought about getting back on?
Both. My main goal here is to be healthier. And if I lose weight, that's a stellar side effect. Although I will tell you, I'm a little jealous that someone just lost 12 pounds. Good for them. So maybe I should get on the scale and see.
It is.
But no, it's about just being healthier. It really is. But it is really hard, and I could see why we did this now as the holidays are approaching. People are starting to bake and bring in pumpkin bread, and I smile at them and go to my office and I do swear at them in multiple languages.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I don't curse them. I just swear at their stupid pumpkin bread. So,
Well, yeah, what would happen? What would happen if you actually told the truth, right? If you said, I so appreciate you having made this, but right now I'm in a health program that just doesn't allow me to eat it. But thank you so
I've
much.
kind of,
for that.
I've said things like that. I'm not allowed to have sugar at this time. And because I'll have someone bring in a Starbucks coffee. Oh, that's so lovely. It has sugar in it, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm so sorry. I can't have it at this time. I'm not allowed to have sugar at this time. I'm a private person. And if I want you to know, I'll tell you. But otherwise, what I eat, what I do, it has nothing to do with you. So move along.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well, not a whole lot is changing for this week. In fact, really nothing is changing for this week, except I'm going to say for everybody that's having some issues around the desire for comfort food or the things that we're missing, to really, really pay attention to that dialogue. And this would be a good time to be writing that down, to go back to, where we started. Because in this program, it really is the psychology of it that ensures success long-term. So from that aspect, especially, trying to do it just on willpower becomes that much more difficult. So
I didn't think I had an emotional connection to food, but it just occurred to me as I was saying it, I dreamt about the pastrami sandwich, but it was Mrs. Hockheiser who showed me how to make the pastrami sandwiches this time of year. So, I guess I do. I just didn't realize it. But also, I feel terrible for Sandra, because I know if you're not my husband's working at our other house in Lone Pine right now. So I'm not surrounded by bad food. I have good food in the house, but it's gotta be tough. It's gotta be really tough.
And so I'm like so proud of her for sticking with this and trying all the new stuff.
Yeah.
It's been that's got to be, amongst all of this, it's got to be the most difficult journey. Especially, I mean, like, even if your husband was there, husband and wife, you're like equals in the household, right? But when you're living in your parents' house, even as an adult, it's a little more difficult to stand up for what it is that you want. So I think it's just absolutely wonderful how well she's been doing.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
yeah, so super cool. Awesome. I loved your food prep containers, and I posted, I don't know if you saw it. Where did you get those?
Amazon, they're glass. I don't do plastics.
I don't either.
So I got them on Amazon. They're cheaper. I've tried Costco, but you get the variety of sizes. And yeah, and I do in my fridge.
Can you put a link up in the Facebook group for the ones you got?
Sure, absolutely. You got it.
And I'll do the same thing for my brush, Linda, because I can't remember what the name of it was. I'll go find it and post it up. And I see Linda also said that she washes her sinuses out every day, 2 times a day, and it really does help. I used to have to do that a lot as well when I had a lot of sinus issues and a lot of allergies and stuff, with the the salt in the neti pot. Do you do that, Jeanette?
I do on occasion, yes. And I, like right now, I could tell my sinuses are clear. Everything's fine. It's just a weird thing. I don't know, but I do know, on a side note, that at 2:30, I used to get really tired and have to go to get a cup of coffee, and I could set a clock to it. And now that I don't have that fatigue, I'll look up and go, holy shit, it's 4. My little alarm clock go off and said I needed coffee at 2:30. Where did the day go? And I'll go back to, so at any rates. But yeah, the neti pots and stuff, you have to be really careful with too, to make sure you sanitize them and clean them often and all that good stuff. So I haven't, but maybe I'll break that sucker out.
Well, and I'm thinking it might be worth doing in the evening, like an hour or so before bed.
Yeah.
Because if you're getting headaches in the evening, then it could be just the whole laying down and then the sinuses start to pack thing and then you get a headache. Because I used to have that all.
Yeah. That might be it.
Nick, can I chime in for a moment, please, about the headaches? Because
Sure.
I get them all the time, for my whole life. And Jeanette, what I noticed about cleaning the sinuses out before I go to bed, it gets all the pollen and everything out of my nose. But then I went to that little shop called Origins. It's an organic shop with organic makeup and stuff. Yeah. But they have these heating pads you can heat up in the microwave. And the moment you lay that on the back of your head and neck, it get your comfort in there, that headache for me is like, oh, I'm on my way to recovery. It just really helps a lot with it.
Yeah, I haven't been doing the nasal thing, but I have a heating pad for my face that actually straps onto your face.
Oh, love it. Yeah.
And so if you move left or right, it stays there. And that's what I've been using. So,
Can you
but
post that too? I would love to get one for this side of my face because I'm always taking that thing going like over here. Yeah, to have it on my whole face, that'd be awesome.
yeah, if I can find it, I will. I'll make a note right now. Because I know when I travel on the airplane, I'll put it on the airplane too, because it blocks out light and sleep on an airplane. So I don't heat it, but it smells nice and it sends a clear message to the people left and right of me. Don't talk to me. So.
Always good. Always good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be the one to say, hey, what is that? How does it work? I'd be chatting to you all day.
Yeah, I go into like a zero, what's it called? A zero depression area. I put my sound blocking headphones on, my mask on, my blanket, I'm out. I just pretend like no one's around. I wake up in another city. So not a problem. Okay,
Cool.
we'll do that.
Even with all those precautions, I still don't like air travel anymore at all. And even less now with COVID, I think.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I'm happy to drag my trailer all over the country. So there's that.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, it sounds like everyone is doing really, really well overall. Really, really proud of all the work to keep up with this and the paying attention, the noticing. That's what makes this so different. And I think Eric said in the video today that, you know, we could just give you a list of foods and say, eat this, don't eat that. But that's not really a long-term solution. They're working on really much more comprehensive lists of food and expanding them. But part of what we want you guys to come out of this with is the ability to be able to clearly know whether or not something is what you want to be eating at this time. And, you know, again, not to say that you may want a cup of coffee at some point in the future. You may want to have some rice or some potatoes. I very rarely, I'll have, you know, a little bit of potato. I don't ever bring them in the house, but I might if I'm out. But I can't even remember the last time I had any potato. I can't remember the last time I had any rice. And for me personally, I prefer the cauliflower. Now I know not everybody's not a fan, and that's cool. And you'll see in the video that I'm going to put up later today with the green bean and cabbage mix, my initial thought was that I was going to add maple syrup to it along with the apple cider vinegar because I thought it was going to need some sweet. And I sauteed it up with apple cider vinegar, took a taste. It's like, nope, doesn't need any syrup at all. Plenty sweet to me, even with the sharp from the apple cider vinegar. And so that's, you know, another one of those indications of taste buds changing and, you know, how different things can be. So final thoughts for you guys? Jeanette?
I had one question, and it's a weird one, but let's say that I cook cabbage with potatoes and like kielbasa, like the standard, you know, fall meal. If I don't eat the potatoes, but let my husband do it, is that still going to be a problem because the potatoes are in the broth? It's that sensitive.
Yep.
It's a start.
Yeah.
That's sensitive.
And I mean, the one that I just did with, you know, red cabbage and green beans instead of potatoes is basically the same meal. And it was really, really good.
Okay.
Didn't miss the potatoes at all. I mean, your husband probably will, because that's what he's used to. And if he really wants the potatoes, you could boil the potatoes up separately and then divide the portions and add some back in for him.
That's fine.
But
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, sorry. And part of it is because the gluten leaches out into whatever the
Yeah.
sauce is.
I guess I just didn't realize how stinking sensitive ketosis is.
Yeah. And for some people, more sensitive than others. I think all of you guys have been able to get away with continuing with lemon juice and so forth so far, which is great. But there are a lot of people that even lemon juice they can't have if they want to be in ketosis for a little while.
Well, I'm going to do a science experiment and get those urine sticks to see.
Cool.
Because now, I mean, if it's that sensitive, I may really have to buckle down or, I feel like I'm buckling down, but maybe I don't know.
You know, it's funny how you said that. Yesterday, when I was at the pharmacy, I said, "Hey, I'd like to buy a blood sugar test."
Yeah.
And they looked at me and they said, "We don't sell them. You have to get a prescription from your doctor." I go, "For a prick?" And that's ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
So does anybody know anywhere I can get these black market?
Amazon.
Okay, thank you.
They probably come from China, but whatevs.
Yeah.
COVID. Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, you know what? If they will tell me accuracy so I can see what my blood sugar, find out what the normal is, and then if I'm how far below or if I'm still above or what that is, that's going to also help me determine, I think, if I'm in a ketosis. It'd be interesting to do both to kind of just like get the data. Yeah.
Well, and I think that's part of the issue. I know both of you like data. So if it's measurable, why not measure it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know my son did a keto diet for a while, and he called them keto sticks at Amazon. But that's what they are.
Right.
So they might be marketed under a different brand that maybe you have to get blood sugar sticks one way. Oh, I didn't mean blood sugar. I meant ketosis sticks.
Yeah.
Same marketing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You got to really pay attention to that marketing. Whew.
Yeah. See, I'm relaxed, but I still got a little. I think this might be my personality. All right.
I think
All right.
I think what's going on for you, Jeanette, is a little bit of getting the increased energy and feeling better overall is letting you be more of you.
Maybe we'll see. But go ahead.
I actually have a question. Have you been by Veritas lately?
No, I have not.
They've got biodomes over the table outside now.
I saw those and someone's like, that looks really cool. I'm like, or claustrophobic. I'm sure it gets completely sanitized from COVID. I'm sure they wiped down the entire interior dome, which defeats the whole purpose of being outside if you're going to contain a small space.
Yeah.
What sticks?
Because
COVID is a fatty-based product, or fat has a fatty, sticky, waxy surface. I'm sure plastic, just bounces that right off.
I'm sure. Oh, yeah. Well, it is what it is. All right.
I have some information about the COVID vaccine, and I'm happy to send it to you guys. It is really, this doctor explains what's in it and how it's going to work. It's almost like you don't want to get it.
Oh, I really don't want to get it. I have no intention of getting it.
But I never expected what she said to ever be like what she's explaining it to be. And I was shocked. But I'll send it to you. And I got it through a friend of mine through the Messenger video. I'll send it to you and you can just listen to the whole thing. At the beginning, you wonder like, where did she get these credentials? But if you keep listening, you'll
I think I've seen her.
I'll send it to you and we'll see. Yeah. Well, there was something I wanted to say too. What was it?
Okay. Stan, you've been particularly quiet today. Before we sign off, any final thoughts for you?
Oh, not really.
Okay. Y'all, as I
Oh,
said, go ahead.
As my mind goes so fast sometimes. Sorry. Sally, when I come across someone at the grocery store, like I have done in the past, where all they see is greens in my basket,
Mhm.
and they might make a comment. My question to you is, are you promoting yourself as a WildFit coach yet? And what can I do to get anybody connected with you if they're interested, or how can I help promote you? But I wasn't sure after the trial how that works, but
Yeah.
if you could give it some
Thank
thought
you.
and just let me know.
Yeah, so the way it stands right now, I can only advertise as a Wild Fit coach in training until I do my final oral exam. But when I met with my master coach on Tuesday, she said she's so pleased with how well that I'm doing and how well everybody in the group is doing that I can go ahead and start my next group even before I take my oral exam. So.
Wow.
So I'm actually
Congratulations.
I'm thinking about starting the next group the middle of December, because the first 2 weeks, all we're doing is increasing hydration so they can still eat all of the holiday
Sure.
food they want to eat. And then we'll be ready to move forward on, the beginning of January. So that's kind of where my thought process is right now.
I'm in this coaching institute, and what we do and what a lot of the coaches have done is when we're in the institute itself, they bring in people who've gone through the program to talk about what they've learned, what they've done, and inspire the next group of people who are just starting to go through it and to kind of get an idea. So that might be something I'd be willing to do if it's something you want to do, is introduce some of your past players. And do you just tell us what we can and cannot say? But as far as, we don't want to give the secrets away, because I find them intriguing now. I can't wait. Exciting. So anyways, I'm happy to be that person for you if you need a few people to do that for you.
I appreciate that. And in the meantime, anybody that you come across that you think can benefit, you know how to do this. We've been referral people for years, right? So, give them my number, ask if you can give me their number. And, we're happy to have that conversation, always.
And what I like, if you could put up something or send me something to help advertise it in the way that you would like to see it advertised. I mean, I could talk blah, 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 and people would probably say, oh my God, what is it, spring, summer, fall? I have it bungled, and I don't want to do that to you. I want to have something very precise to say it when I post it, that people are intrigued and want to learn more, and then I can get you connected.
Awesome.
I've tried explaining it to my son. He makes fun of me. Oh, one of those diets again. It's like, no, you don't understand, and so my husband does, but the kids are the message is not being received. They just look at it as one of those, another diet you're doing, Weight Watchers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those cases where NLP will serve us well. So yeah, I haven't actually started writing, marketing materials per se yet, but it's on my list of things to get working on. So yeah.
All right, I'll wait for you.
Cool. Thank you. Well, I appreciate the willingness to help. And again, everybody's doing great. I love the full participation. Keep up the good work. And we'll see you on Monday and see how the weekend goes. Cool. Have a great weekend, guys.
Okay, you too. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.